Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 4. So throughout different points of this season, the first being in the opening part of the Crisis on Earth X crossover, we have met this new mysterious female character who has popped up to interact with a handful of characters on the show. The first of course being Barry in that crossover, the next being Cisco and Ralph while they were at Jitters and couldn't afford to pay for their coffee. She ended up paying for it and then goes into like an awkward drawn out ramble. And then at the end of last episode, that being episode 15, we saw Caitlin and Harry once again at Jitters, and this girl spills her Killer Frost drink onto them. This was followed by this girl going into a long-winded story about how she would be meeting some people in Jitters for the first time, and then as Harry and Caitlin leave, they wish her good luck with that meeting and hoping it goes well, with the girl then looking at both of them as they walked away with a fairly sinister look and saying, "It did." Obviously, the big prediction and rumor around this character is that she is Dawn Allen, but that obviously isn't her confirmed name. So whenever I refer to her in this video, I will just refer to her as Mystery Girl to avoid any confusion, and also because it sounds better than Jitters Girl, which even though appropriate, I would rather say Mystery Girl over that. But last episode did really open up the speculation as to who this character could be, and has drawn like many people away from her actually being Dawn Allen, and opened up a few other doors as to who she could actually be. So there are actually a few options that we will be going over in this video. Most of them, not all of them, because some of them are a bit like outlandish, but we're going over the main ones that people are talking about. Some you may be familiar with, some you won't be so familiar with. But of course, do be sure to let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on each of these options. Which one do you think is the most likely? And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. So our first option is the one that I have most likely put in the title of the video, and that is that this Mystery Girl could in fact be a gender-flipped version of the Daniel West Reverse Flash. Now I'm sure most of you know of the Daniel West story or have at least heard of Daniel West. In the comics, he is actually the father to Wally West and brother to Iris West. To keep it short and simple, there was a story going on at the time involving a power source that was produced by the Speed Force. Daniel actually got in an accident with it and got super speed and dubbed himself as a Reverse Flash, with his aim after that to sort of target those attached to the Speed Force and drain them of their speed. Now with the Mystery Girl, I'm not expecting to see this. They could give her like a similar backstory to this if they wanted to, mainly around getting powers thanks to a Speed Force powered object, but I'm not expecting 100% accuracy as I don't really think it's necessary. What could be the main focus in regards to accuracy to Daniel West from the comics could be her past. In the comics, Daniel's mother actually died giving birth to him, which throughout his childhood and beyond, his father like never forgave him for, which turned his father into not only an alcoholic, but an abusive alcoholic as well. So the show could take this and twist it into a storyline for this Mystery Girl. Now from what I've seen people reference, the best option as to who could be the Mystery Girl in this case would be Jo and Cecile's daughter. Her being Jo and Cecile's daughter has been a popular choice, but this is the only way in which I would be interested in that being the case. If it was any other case and she was Jo's daughter and she was just popping up for some random reason, then I think it would be a bit of a disappointment to be completely honest. The only people who we haven't seen the Mystery Girl interact with, who are main people on the show, are Jo, Cecile, Wally, and Iris, who would be her father, mother, half-sister, and half-brother. So you could argue there is a lot supporting this theory. In regards to what she is doing back here, it could be with her trying to stop her mother from dying possibly at the hands of DeVoe or some other cause. We know Cecile has those powers. Will those powers get involved with DeVoe later on? Who knows? The next option is that she is actually, Dawn Allen, the daughter of Barry and Iris, like is being said by many online, or that she is possibly Jenny Ognaz, the granddaughter of Barry and Iris. It works with both ways, and she has travelled back in time in order to prevent DeVoe's plan from working and possibly doing damage to the future of not only Barry and Iris, but the world in general, and she is doing this by slightly tweaking events during the time of DeVoe's uprising. Nothing major, obviously, but just like subtle things that many wouldn't really raise too much of an eyebrow at. Some have theorized that she gave Caitlin that weird look as she was leaving Jitters, as she might go proper Killer Frost in the future, and this character knows that Caitlin is Killer Frost. So the Mystery Girl, in this case Dawn, would know she is interacting with a future villain and someone that she is not too fond of. Also, it's important to remember that she did pop up as soon as Ralph said Alan always pays or something like that when she interacted might I say, with Cisco and Ralph earlier on in the season, which was another hint to her being a part of the Allen family. The option does make sense to me. We did see her writing the same symbols that not only Barry was writing once he escaped the Speed Force, but they are symbols that DeVoe had on his face when he was the Thinker, but which were also on his blackboard in a previous episode. Which does hint that this could possibly be the language of the Age of Enlightenment or something like that, which could prove that DeVoe is successful in the future, that she is from, and that this language is what is used. She is back to prevent him from winning by the most subtle of interferences, which we have seen examples of throughout this season. The next option is a bit of like a flip-flop, or I guess you could say the reverse from the last option, and that is that she is actually the daughter of DeVoe. She is back to basically do the opposite of what I was just going over then. She is back to tweak things subtly in order to make things go the way of her father, DeVoe, in order for him to succeed. A way that would be interesting to incorporate her into this season and mix into last season's events as well is if she is actually from the future that Barry changed by saving Iris, which would, once again prove that there's a big thing on like Barry changing time. Well, technically when he saved Iris, he changed time. So this character could be, a representation of meddling with what was meant to happen. But yeah, not really much to go over with this option, as it is basically the same as last option, but as I said, the reverse. The second last option connects to my last Flash video, which was on all who the new speedster from Earth 3 could be. And that is that this mystery girl is, well, that new speedster from Earth 3 that Jay will be training. Now, I already went over this, as I said in that video, so I don't really like this idea. I said that in the video. There's actually two different options regarding this character, possibly being the speedster. I didn't like either option, so let's just move on. And the last option is a weird one, sort of, but a few people have brought it up to me, so I thought, why not, let's include it. And that is that this mystery girl is just a random time traveler meddling with things in the past, slightly to hopefully change things in the future. She could be a historian as well if they wanted to mix that in, which would allow her to know so much about this time period. And she could be targeting people around Barry or the Flash, as he could be central to the way things run in the future, or why things happened leading up to her future. A bonus note, you never know, it could be a historian attached to the Flash Museum in the future. That would be pretty cool. Now, my final thoughts though on all of this. There are a lot of options as to who the mystery girl could be. The obvious one is that she is Dawn Allen, due to things earlier on in the season when she showed up. Even though they are chucking in weird things lately to mess with us and make us think otherwise, that she isn't Dawn Allen and she's another character. There is one important thing to remember about last season, the dreaded season 3, yes I know. That's right, remember Savitar? It was so obvious that it was future Barry that no one believed it could be him later on the season, and look what happened there. So they could be doing the same thing with the mystery girl, making it so obvious that it is Dawn, then putting something in there to make you steer away from that obvious choice, and then just doing the obvious choice in the end anyway. Honestly, with Savitar, we all know he should have been Dallas, so maybe they might make Dawn Dallas. Dallas Allen? I think it fits. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'll be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on the options I went over in this video. If there's more that you have that I did not mention in this video, let me know in the comments. I'm interested to see more options that people could have. But yeah, just let me know your opinions. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.